Growing up in the Quaker faith during colonial times probably made Betsy's childhood different from that of other children of her time, and very different from childhood today. Of course, in colonial times, for any child, there were no computer games to play or cartoons to watch on television to pass the time away. For most children during colonial times, however, there were storybooks, card games, music, and dancing. Quaker children were not allowed to do any of these things. The Quaker religion was one of simplicity, and the people who followed it believed that living a simple life helped a person to avoid sin and prepare for life with God after death. This simple lifestyle also applied to Quaker children, and it prevented them from doing some of the things that other colonial children could do. This did not mean that Betsy and other Quaker children could not have a fun childhood, however. With so many brothers and sisters, Betsy always had someone with whom she could play. Also, Quaker children could do some of the things that children today might do with their friends, such as swim, play tag or hide-and-seek in the summer, and sled and ice skate in the winter. When Betsy was not playing with friends or brothers and sisters, she did something that not many other girls did in colonial times. She went to a formal school. In a time when most girls were taught the basics of reading and writing at home, if they were taught at all, Betsy went to a Friends, or Quaker, public school, which taught both boys and girls. School in colonial times was different than it is today. At the Friends public school, students were in class for 8 hours a day, including Saturday. Teachers were usually very strict, and students were paddled or disciplined if they misbehaved or did not memorize their work. Students were taught the basics of reading, writing, and possibly some math. Students at the Friends public school were also taught a basic skill or trade. Betsy liked to sew, and she spent much of her time learning this skill at school. She learned to sew clothes and quilts, among other items, such as samplers with the alphabet or prayers on them. In 1764, Betsy finished her schooling. She was 12 years old. As a young woman, Betsy would learn to be a homemaker. This meant more than staying home and helping to look after the large Griscom family. It meant learning how to cook, clean, and probably manage the household money. Around the same time that the Griscom family moved back into Philadelphia, ill feelings between the British government in London and the colonies in America were beginning to increase. There was a period of declining prosperity after the French and Indian War that was felt not only in the colonies, but also by the British government.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.